If rumours are to be believed, you can't have anything in Detroit. But judging by what happened to the championship leaders in INDYCAR and IMSA, well, they did come away with nothing, didn't they? And we'll start off with IMSA, because although we saw the switch for Wayne Taylor Racing and Meyer Shank Racing over the off-season, it didn't come with a win for Cadillac in Detroit. Instead it was Acura, instead it was Honda, instead it was Renger van der Zande and Nick Yellerly who took the win. It was impressive. It's 2 years in a row for Acura now in Detroit, and it was a good run. At the same time, Nasser and Tandy did have a good run. Tandy starting off quite strong, making up for bad qualifying. Well, bad by their standards of winning pretty much every race this season. But now they're 2 races in a row without a win. They weren't even the top Porsche this time out, because it was the Campbell and Jaminet car that got through in the late stages as well. But yeah, it was a nice battle to watch. Well done to Philip Albuquerque and Ricky Taylor though. Like I said, whilst there was the WTR MSR switch, Cadillac still managed to get second. So Porsche got 1 car on the podium. It wasn't the 7, it was the 6, which tells you how much they struggled over the course of the Detroit weekend. I mean, they weren't the only ones to have different kinds of issues. Quite notably in GTD Pro, was it the... I can't remember now. Was it the number 1 or the number 48 that ended up having the issues for the PMR car? I'm pretty sure it was the 1. And yeah, bad luck for them as well. There were some people who had quite a lot, some people that didn't. Aiken and Bamba struggled, for example. The BMWs, well, they were consistent. They were towards the tail end of the top 10. They were around the 5th, 6th place mark. But at the same time, much like how the 7 hadn't been up at the front for the later end of the race, and they didn't end up getting a win, didn't even end up getting a podium. That consistent pole position run. But when it came to Detroit, it was Alex Palou who had barely put a foot wrong all season and won all but 1 race. Who had one of the most high profile crashes of the race. I mean, I would say it probably wasn't the high profile crash though. That has to go to Paul Louis Foster, who had a suspension failure, and that suspension failure led to him also taking out Felix Rosenqvist as well. Both had run well over the course of the day, but that was a nasty shunt. But yeah, Palou crashed in turn 1 late in the race. Cautions breeding cautions, meaning that it was a second win of the season for the only person not named Alex Palou to win this season in IndyCar, Kyle Kirkwood. I think it's probably unsurprising that if you look at my driver ratings, or when I go through them, if I talked about the IndyCar ones, it's Palou and Kirkwood up at the top. I mean, Palou did struggle in Detroit as well, poorly. Managed to build his way through the field before he crashed, but wasn't anywhere near where you'd necessarily expect it to be, especially given his almost domination of this season. But Kirkwood picked up pretty much from where he left off at Long Beach. I mean, he ran well on the 500, he ran all right at the Indy Road course, but yeah, it wasn't as domineering as the Long Beach win, I don't think. But again, it was another time where he managed to cruise a little bit, maintain the gap to Santino Ferrucci of all people, who's come on over the last couple of races. And yeah, he had 50 seconds of push to pass left at the end of the race. Almightily impressive by Kirkwood. Elsewhere, it was a good run for Colton Herta, one of his better runs this season, and a better run for Will Power as well, who ended up challenging Herta for that final podium spot in the closing laps. Herta just wasn't able to get past Ferrucci. Maybe it's a thing of how tight the circuit is doesn't lend itself to overtake particularly much apart from into the hairpin. I think that leads to the question that we can talk about with this doubleheader, because the doubleheader used to happen at Belle Isle. Now, I didn't follow either sport as intensely when it was at Belle Isle, but I do like the track, and I've driven a lot of laps in it in iRacing. Has the move to where the old Grand Prix circuit was really paid off? For me, it feels a bit like, and it's strange because they're not the same, but it feels a bit like the London XL track that we see in Formula E. You know, how you've got narrow street bits next to the main river that goes through the city. But the difference is, the XL one works for Formula E because it works for Formula E. Formula E is a fundamentally different series to either of them. I don't think that this downtown circuit lends itself as much to overtaking, to battling, without contact having to happen. I mean, see the Herta battle with Ferrucci, or the Herta battle with Power towards the end of the IndyCar race. See what happened with the AO Porsche and the Corvette, wasn't it, at the end of IMSA? I mean, you could also talk about, I'm pretty sure the industry kept on having cuts in and out of audio on the Saturday. What's interesting is IndyCar has been a series that's been more stricken by that this season. Looking at the race at Thermal, for example. But, yeah, I don't know what else to say, really. So I'm just going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching and joining, folks. And I hope you've enjoyed this. Till next time, it's bye-bye for now.